Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Curling Club. My name's Dustin Devine here, bringing you the 8:15 p.m. draw of our Pittsburgh 5&Under Open Bonspiel National Qualifier event. Tonight's game, we've got a good one on schedule for you. We have Team Cozen from Rochester Curling Club going up against Brotherly Shove, a combination team from Philadelphia and Bucks County Curling Clubs. Brotherly Shove throwing the Red Rocks, dressed in their best Kelly green for the Eagles. Team Cozen throwing the Yellow Rocks, and we'll have Hammer here in the first end. Taking a quick look at the house so far here, we see Red currently sitting 2 with 2 rocks in the back of the 8-foot. Next 2 shots belong to Team Cozen from Rochester, with another Philly biter happening there in the front of the 12-foot. This is the first stone of Team Cozen's vice, Rick Cozen, trying to draw into the house and down to the Red Rocks, able to make contact and sit in the back of the 4-foot with shot rock. Now throwing her first stone, vice skip Katie Krebs of Brotherly Shove. Looks like she's going to try and replicate that shot, drawing down to the yellow rock that's now the closest stone to the button. Remember, in curling, your goal is to get the rocks as close to the center of the target, or otherwise known as the button, as possible. You get points for as many rocks as you have closest to the center than your opponent. This rock coming in nicely, nice little tap back now. Able to tap it through, and now with just that simple shot, Brotherly Shove now sitting 2, if not 3, Red Rocks here in the back of the house. So scoring is like in bocce. You don't take a score until the end of the end, when all the rocks have been thrown, and they will count whoever has the most rocks closest to the center at the end of the end. They're the ones that get the points. Second rock here for Rick Cozen coming in. Sweeper scene indicates a little bit warm, but starting to die now. Now they're calling for the sweep, trying to get them to get it around the guards down towards the Red Rock. Past the guards on its way in. Can they get enough juice to get it all the way down to the Red Rock and sit shot? And they do. A little tap back, so now Team Cozen sitting 1. Just touching the back of the button. Brotherly Shove's going to obviously try a similar shot than their last one, trying to chip that yellow rock out of there and let their Red Rocks sit closest to the center.
So the clock is running again. I'm sorry.
Now this first stone here, skip Christian Slater, bringing his rock down into the house. This one, though, a little bit heavy, though, not quite curling over enough, and it's going to hit a yellow in the back and sit behind the 8-foot circle. So Team Cozen still sitting 1 right now. Joe Cozen talking over with his brother. I'm assuming it's his brother. I shouldn't make that assumption, but they both have the last name of Cozen, so forgive me for my assumptions, everybody. Looks like they're going to try and draw down into the house. sitting in the top of the 4 foot. That way they guard the button and possibly sit a second shot. Another packed house here tonight in Pittsburgh. Plenty of friends, family watching the games this evening. Again, this event is a national qualifier. The winner of this event, if they qualify, will make an appearance at the 5&Under National Championships later this spring. Joe Cozen's first stone on its way towards the house. Looks a little bit light. They're yelling sweep hard, trying to get everybody to drag this rock as far as they can take it. Coming on in. Get it around the guards, getting it into the top of the house. And getting it to the top 4 foot. Looks like it overcurled a little bit, so it's behind the guards. That shot rock is still somewhat exposed, but it's close enough to sit now for second shot. Brotherly Shove looking over their options right now. Christian Slater in the hack, ready to deliver his stone. Rock on its way now. Sweepers not on it just yet. Waiting for it to start to curl. They don't want to be heavy and go through the back. It's trying to curl up here, trying to push it over a little bit. Can he get a piece? Just a piece, but not enough. It's going to spill out. And now Team Cozen with hammer. Sitting 2, looking to see how they can get 3. Joe Cozen talking over the shot, making sure his sweepers understand exactly what he wants to happen on this. Steps into the hack. Cleans off the bottom of the stone. If you ever see people cleaning off the bottom of the stone, they're rubbing their hand around the rim, just trying to make sure there's no extra pieces of fuzz or debris or anything on it. Joe kicking out of the hack now, delivering his stone. Rock is on its way. Looks a little light. Sweeper's trying to hold on to a line. Making its way in. Can they hold the line? Can they hold it? They don't really want to hit theirs. And they nudge theirs back. It's 2 for certain. The vice skips talk it over and decide, is that third stone closer than that red one? Taking a quick look. And looks like they're going to call for a measurement. So we know the 2 rocks are good. They're going to remove the 2 rocks that they know Rochester has scored. And they're going to pull any other rocks out of play. They're going to go get the measuring device over on the wall and bring that over. This is a device used to indicate which stone is closer to the center. So we know at least 2 here in the first end. 14 codes at this measurement to determine if there's 3. They'll place the center pin of the vise in the hole in the center of the house. Once the vice skips agree it's in the center, there's a dial that they will tighten down to touch the outside edge of the rock closest to the center. That dial will then be spun around to see how close the red rock and the yellow rock is, and the closest one will count. And it's the yellow rock. So 3 points for Rochester, that first end with hammer. So Team Rochester just scoring 3 points, throws first in the second end here. Decides to draw it into the house, sitting in top 4. Brotherly shove. Doesn't like that rock sitting there, so they're going to make a play to take it out. First shot of the way from Carter Poitras. Carter's first rock here in the second end. Sweepers are on it trying to hold the line, but it looks like it's over curled already. They're just going to let this one drift over, seeing if it'll stop in the house. Joe Cozen making sure it doesn't, sweeping it right out the back. And now immediately goes to deploying a center guard to protect his rock there at the top of the forefoot. Coming on into the house now. I wanted this to be a guard. Looks like it's going to be a nice center guard here set up. Nice 3 guard. They'd like a little bit more splitting that center line, but any center guard has potential to help you out, especially when you're trying to narrow down the scoring area of your opponents. So now Brotherly Shove deciding instead of trying to take that rock out, they're going to try and throw out to the wings. Either getting a guard or a rock in play here out in the periphery. Looks like he wants it on the tee line. Trying to re-widen that scoring area by getting a rock in play out in the outskirts of the house. Looks a little light though. Sweepers are on it trying to drag as far as they can go. Christian coming out to give it a couple extra brushes himself. Still sets up a nice corner guard though. Ideally, they'd like to draw around it. Now Team Cozen of Rochester looking to just throw another center guard here, clog up that middle. If they get to rest on the left side of the center line here, it'll be even better, because then that kind of makes it a harder shot for Brotherly Shove to get out to the wings. But this rock will over curl like the first one and set up on the right side of the center line. And now Brotherly Shove going to take a chance at hitting that yellow rock, because now if they hit one way or the other, they can roll underneath some guards, either their own guard on the left or the two guards thrown by Rochester on the right-hand side. Rock's coming in. Weight looks good, trying to see will it get over close enough, and it just hangs just outside again. So two narrow misses, trying to run into that. The weight looked good, looked about the weight that the skip called. Just that rock would not move over just a couple more inches for them to be able to pick that yellow rock out. And now Team Cozen going to try and throw another one there. They want this one on that left-hand side, finishing up by those guards, really to help block off. Rock curling here hard at the end. Sweepers are trying to take it as deep as they can. If they can get it onto that pile, a little tip there, and that'll do it. Now Brotherly Shove quickly coming out to the line, saying we need to clear some of this stuff out of the middle. Trying to peel these guards away so they have a shot back at that middle rock again. Rock on the right from Trish Slater. Crossing a little bit, is able to make contact and chip one guard through the house. Opens that middle up a little bit more now, so Brotherly Shove giving themselves a chance here to climb back into this end. Team Cozen now trying to reset that rock. That rock got a little bit wide, though. It's hung out there in the wings. Brotherly Shove looking to work on clearing those center guards still out of the way so they can get a shot at that rock sitting at the top of the forefoot. Rock on its way in. Coming in here on the side. Gonna just clip that center guard. Not really remove it very much, but does open up that left side again. And that entire yellow rock now is exposed. So Rochester now looking to replace that guard. As is typical strategy, if you don't have hammer, you want to try and steal. The best way to steal is to get one rock in the house and then put a bunch of guards up in front of it to make it as difficult as possible for the other team to clear out. when you have hammer, you want that middle to be open so that way you can have easier draw paths. This rock, though, checking up, it's going to be a high guard if they can get it across the hog line. And they do. But a high guard here on the left side. Blocking that takeout path somewhat. It's still visible from the hack, but not all of it, and still a rather tricky way to get to it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try and peel this guard again. Rock on the way here. Hard on the sweep, trying to get it through this gap. Can they get it through the gap? Oh, they have. They're going to get to the yellow rock. And they did. Chipping the yellow rock out and spilling over to the right-hand side. Fantastic shot there by Katie Krebs, vice skip of Brotherly Shove. And now it is Philadelphia and Bucks County sitting one. Rochester now setting up their shot. They're going to go right after that red rock. Seeing if they can hit and roll as they can see all of that stone on the right-hand side. Joe Cozen in the hack now. Sliding out, delivering the stone. Sweepers running alongside of it, on it, trying to hold it out. Now called off. It needs a curl. Now they're trying to push it over as it heads into the house. Can they get a piece of the red rock coming in? They do, and they roll open to the right-hand side. Rochester now sitting one. Brotherly Shove now with their first skip stones. Christian Slater sliding down to the hack. This yellow rock is completely exposed. He's going to want to try and hit and roll underneath those guards to make it more difficult for Rochester to take him out. And ideally, he'd like to set this shot up and bury it and then potentially with a Philadelphia miss or have a good draw himself, possibly get two and get right back into this game. Slides out of the hack and delivers his first stone here in the second end. Sweepers are on it. Trying to hold that line. Coming in and nosing that yellow rock and sitting one. So an end that started off with a lot of play into the center line now has moved into the wings as they were able to pick out that stone at the top of the forefoot. And now all those guards are in the way for everybody.
We've been averaging 30, 40 viewers between both streams, the commentary one and the other one. We just set all this up for this event because we're hosting a 500.
So now Joe Cozen
Invitational.
with his last rock here.
USA Curling makes an arbitrary decision. I don't know. We're not in charge of it.
On its way in. coming on in hard, trying to hold the line, getting inside and a little bit of a roll, but that's not going to roll underneath cover. So an open hit for Brotherly Shove from Philadelphia, Bucks County, trying to take 1 point here in this end. Of course, they could hit and spill both rocks out of the house and take the blank and retain hammer, heading over into our second or our third end.
We only started coming originally from the area, so we started coming to this one just because it was like,
Okay.
I get to have my own Bonspiel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the last rock of the second end underway.
Okay.
On its way down, sweepers just traveling with it yet. Now told to get on it hard, trying to hold the line. Coming into the house. Oh, they're trying to keep it out there, and it's able to hit, roll underneath, and a beautiful shot
Quite a few teams from parties
to sit back 8 and 1 point
similar boat. So busy with 5 under.
for Brotherly Shove
You guys still going to do it
here in the second end
We have, I think, 9 teams right now.
because our other team,
as we head to the third.
they're not granting it this year because two of the guys' daughters are juniors and seniors.
Okay.
They're trying to get them up there.
Yeah, that's always
So we're trying to give in some other people to come, so hopefully we can convince them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here starting our third end, and take a quick shout out to the 9 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight on this stream. If you're able to, drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting for and who you think's going to win this match. Here in the third end, Team Cozen from Rochester has a 3-1 lead over Team Brotherly Shove from Philadelphia. Some scores from around the sheets. As you can hear, there's other draws going on at this time. We have 4 sheets here in Pittsburgh, so for right now, for this tournament, 3 other games are underway. Over on sheet D, Team Barrickman has a 2-1 lead over Mars Attacks. On sheet C, the Philly Freeze have looks to be a 1-0 lead after 1 on Team Up. And on sheet A, after 1 end, there is a 1-0 lead. Hi Diddly Ho Curlerinos up against the Blazing Brooms. So yes, quite a eclectic list of names of teams here for this year's this year's Bonspiel. Always fun when teams dress in uniforms or similar outfits and have names that match them. Back here on our feature sheet, right now, Brotherly Shove has 2 rocks in the house. Team Cozen has a high corner guard on the left-hand side and 1 rock that either was taken out or passed through. First stone now for second Steve DeBlazo. Indication from the sweepers this one is heavy, as it's starting to make its way towards the wings, trying to slow down, trying to hit the brakes, but just a little too much pepper on that one. It's going to slide out the back of the house and over the back line. Now Trish Slater with her second rock. Looks like a draw into the center. Sweeper's trying to keep this rock moving, trying to get it into the house or the top of the house. Unable to get around their stone, but now they're sitting 3. Starting to block off the right side of the house there, right side towards the button as well. Steve DeBlasio's second shot now. They're calling for some weight here, trying to move those red rocks out from in front. Sweeper seems to think he's got plenty of weight, now trying to push it over, seeing if it can make contact with those red rocks, and does. Jams on the back rock as well. Tries to get it out the back, but looks like enough scattered around to sit second shot. So the red rock in the back of the 8-foot is shot rock right now. Yellow is second, and then the other red rock biting the 8-foot is sitting third. And with them sitting currently 2, Brotherly Shove going to be aggressive. Try and come down and smack that yellow rock out the side. Release looks a little bit inside though, as the rock's already starting to curl. Sweepers are on it trying to hold, seeing if they can get it over. Looks like they're going to jam instead on the guard and tap that guard into the rings. It's going to come to rest here in the top of the 12-foot. Sitting 4th shot. So right now, red with shots 1 and 3, yellow with shots 2 and 4. And looks like the call is for yellow, which is Team Cozen, to come down and try and draw into the house. Rock looks a little light. They were sweeping on it. Now they think, oh, maybe it's got enough after all. Starting to curl now as it crosses the hog line. Can it slow up? Oh, they might have overcooked it a little bit on the sweeping early. Christian Slater making sure that rock doesn't stick around, sweeps it out the back of the house. Part of curling is quickly adapting and learning the ice, learning the speed of the ice, learning exactly how fast it's going so you know when you deliver how far that rock's going to go. And then also being able to adjust for the changes, because might start off a little slow, but once everybody throws down the same path for a while, that path might speed up, so you have to dial your own speed back. This rock, though, curling a little bit more, going to wreck on the red guard, drive it backwards. Makes contact with the yellow, but that bumps it back onto the red now, so unfortunately, not what Brotherly Shove was looking for there, as they shoved their opponent's rock into theirs, and now Rochester sits 2. Rochester now looking like they want to draw in to the front of the house, trying to guard up the button. Looking to put this rock in the top of the 4 foot. That's the red ring inside the house. But looks a little hot. Sweepers aren't worried about the weight just yet. Trying to come down as it curls back to the middle, but this is going to pass through the button and sit towards the back of the 4 foot. Still a very good shot, though. Drawing any part of the button, a very good shot. They would like that to be about a rock higher, but definitely still puts it in a place that Brotherly Shove has to contend with it now. They can't just let that sit there. So now Brotherly Shove looking to draw in with the heavyweight draw, tapping that yellow rock off of the button. Not necessarily wanting to get rid of it, because ideally if you can sit in front of it, it makes it harder for Rochester to knock your rock out the back. But they definitely want to make contact and move it probably about 2 or 3 feet. Rock is on the way. Sweepers now sweeping for line. Really is checking up here as it starts to curl. Sweeping it hard, trying to get it as far as they can. Can they drag it far enough? It's over curling as well. Already crossing the center line, trying to sit, and just sits either just outside or just touching the top of that 12-foot ring. So now Rochester is sitting first through third rock. They're going to want to put a guard up. They're going to want to try and put a rock up in the front here, so that way Philly doesn't have quite an easy target to hit with. So anything near the top of the magnet's head there, between the top of the magnet's head and the center line, is where they're looking to go with this rock. Skip Joe Cozen with his first rock of the end. Slides out. Sweeper's traveling with it. Now Sweeper's trying to carve it over a little bit. Rock is checking out nicely. Looks like it's going to be high of the house, though. Trying to bring it in. And they get to touch the top of the 12-foot. So yellow still sitting 3. Their shot stone now half blocked by the rock they just threw, sitting at the top of the 12-foot. Taking a double look, making sure they're Not counting that red rock on the right-hand side there. So Christian Slater has his target. Communicates to his sweepers where he wants this roughly to end up at. You know, communication, very important part of curling between the skip and the team. Not only before the shot, but also during the shot as well. As Christian Slater slides out. Rock, though, a little bit light, starting to curl. Shouting to try and keep it straight. Now it's over curling. They're going to let it go. They don't want to tap that yellow in any further. Oh, but they make contact with it. And drive it inside the 8-foot. Now sitting 4. Definitely not what was Brotherly Shove was planning or hoping for on that rock. As now they've tapped Rochester into 4 points. Trying to see if they can possibly get more. And so here we have Joe Cozen, last rock of the end. Rochester sitting. I would say it's at least 4 based on what I'm seeing here. We'll find out when the end is over. Trying to draw in to get an extra point out of this end. Sweepers are on it. It's a little bit wide. Sweepers are trying to sweep and drag this rock over. Trying to get it into the house. Can they get it to the 8-foot? Can they get it there? Sweeping it really hard. Can they get it in? And it's gonna just... Oh, I think it just sneaks in there. And we're discussing again, looking over. It's between and they've made a consensus, so Rochester will score more points and take a big lead here after our third end. So Rochester with a big 4 there in the third end to take a 7-1 lead over Brotherly Shove from Philadelphia and Bucks County. Still plenty of curling to be had, though. Brotherly Shove now looking definitely to get multiple points on this end, climb their way back into this game. And they really had some very nice shots set up there, but then Rochester able to just make some incredible taps to bump their rocks out of scoring contention and let theirs sit in there. And this rock just a little bit heavy on our first attempt here in the fourth end by Carter. John de Blasio lined up for his second shot. Sorry, de Blasio, not de Blasio. Rock looks a little warm though, according to the sweepers, as it's running down that right side. It's going to come on into the house and try and settle in the back. Philly sweeping hard to make sure it doesn't do so, but it comes to rest just in the back 12 on the center line. Now Carter's second stone of the end. Coming in nicely though, sweepers trying to drag it as far as they can. Coming down, approaching that yellow rock in the top 12 foot. And going to finish just in front of that. You can tap that up. Sometimes if you miss a shot or you don't get down to the rock you want, as long as you're in front of it, you have the chance to maybe bump it up on your next rock. In the meantime, Rochester content just to keep throwing stones into the house here, trying to force Philadelphia's hand and take some of these rocks out. Stone again looks a little bit warm from the sweepers as it comes across the hog line, sweeping it to try and carve it on over, and they're able to get it to sit right on the end in K&J Magnetics, sitting full 8 foot here and sitting with 3 rocks in the house. Brotherly Shove has to deal with that rock now, has to take a play on it, attempt to take this shot out. Coming on inside. Line looks good. Just takes a little tick of the yellow though, and kicks it over to the left-hand side before it scoots out on its own. So it looked like a really good shot, just stopped curling there at the last second and didn't let it come and hit that shot as solidly as they had hoped for. This stone's coming in for Rochester, curling towards the middle. And Rochester just very good weight control again there, parking that stone right at the top of the 4 foot. And now Philadelphia having to make a play on it, trying to get something into the house here. Rocks on the way, sweepers trying to hold the line. Hold the line, can they hold it? Can they hold it for a piece? Just another little tick. They're not missing these shots by much, folks, just a matter of inches, but unfortunately enough for them. And they're just bumping the Rochester rocks around. Rochester now trying to, again, throw another rock into the middle of that pile. Make it even more increasingly harder for Philadelphia to score. This rock, though, checking up just on the left side of the center line. So not really hiding that shot rock at the top of the 4 foot from anybody. But another rock to contend with, nonetheless. This rock's on its way, coming on in. Sweeper's trying to hold the line. This one's going to make good contact. And a little double hit. Knocks the shot rock out the back and rolls against the second shot rock, and now is sitting top 4 foot behind cover for 1 right now. This rock on its way in from Rochester, though, looks like it's got a little bit too much. It's trying to curl over, but it's not going to get there. They're going to wreck on their own stone in the back of the 8 foot. So now Philly Freeze is going to try and draw in again. And trying to make more than 1 point. Well, it looks like we're changing up the call, trying to see if maybe there's something we can work on this side. And yes, it looks like they're going to try and attempt to hit the Yellowstone in the 8 foot on the left-hand side. Kind of in the middle of our magnet. See if they can roll that underneath cover as well. Stone's on its way. It's out there. It needs to curl back. It takes a pause. It's starting to move now. Starting to move inside. Weight's coming down off it. Is it able to get inside there? Does make contact, but not enough to move it far enough. So Philadelphia is still sitting 1. And Rochester right now just trying to draw into the button to outcount that Philadelphia rock and put the pressure on the brotherly shove. Skip Joko's in the hack, sliding out now, delivering his first rock at the end. Calling for sweep. Calling sweep, trying to hold the line on the stone. Now calling off, trying to let it stop and settle. The back of the forefoot, it's just going to glide in and just a little heavy. Little bump off theirs and go out the back. So, Brotherly Shove now trying to decide, sitting one shot now, how's the best chance for them to get two out of this end? Knowing that Joe Cozen has one more rock to go still. Do they make a play on the Yellowstone now? Or do they try and draw in, or do they try and tap their own red over? This is the strategy part of the game where the skip and the vice skip have to communicate well, know enough about how the rocks behave, how the lines are going to behave. Looks like he feels if he throws enough weight at this, he can angle that red out there towards the edge of the 8-foot back onto the yellow rock that is sitting second shot right now. So that's what he's going to try. If he does that, then he's sitting probably two, probably pretty covered up as well. Trying to force Rochester to draw so he then has another draw for more points in the end. Christian Slater's first rock on the way here in the fourth end. Rock's hanging out there, watching it come in. Makes contact, hits the Yellowstone, and drives it back. Did they drive it back far enough back onto that yellow rock? I think they did, which I think now gives Philadelphia a line two.
Which was second.
And now Rochester deciding what's their best course of action, if they draw underneath or they try and throw a higher guard to prevent Philadelphia from drawing in for more points. Essentially conceding the 2 points now and preventing them from having the opportunity to get 3. 3 points would make this a 7-4 game and get Philadelphia right back in it with half the game left to play. Stone's on the way. They say it's a little bit wide and it's a little bit heavy. Rich now wanting to finish this rock off, see if they can get it inside, if they can maybe get a tick on that red rock and bump it out. Do a little hit and roll, and now they will set shot rock right in the magnet's hand. With Philadelphia now sitting second and third shots. Now Philadelphia seeing how they have to hit this and how far they have to hit it to potentially get their 3. Final stone of the end is underway. Headed on in. Trying to curl over here a little bit, but hanging out there. Gonna chip the yellow rock and nudge it out. Still one, at least one for red. They're discussing who has second. Still taking a good long look at this second shot. What do you folks at home think? Is it 2 red or 1? Well, it's definitely 1, as they're moving the shot rock out of the way and they're going to get the measuring dice for the second time here in this game. Trying to decide, does red get 1 or 2? And it's red. So red will get an extra point there, making our score 7-3 as we head to the 5th end. All right, back here on the fifth end with a Christmas tree of guards here guarding the front of the house. Rochester with 2 stones, 1 in the top 8, 1 in the back 12. Philly with 1 in the top 12 behind the Christmas tree of guards. Trying to draw around. Around the side, this rock is turning hard already. We're going to add it to the pile. And we tap a couple of the guards up, so another red rock now touching the top of the house. Unfortunately, 2 yellow rocks closer to the center, further back. So now Rochester calling for another draw around the pile of rocks. Cousins' first stone is away. Everybody's yelling to stay on the sweep, trying to get this around the guards. But it's not going to make it. Is it going to tap that yellow one in further? It is. A little kiss off the reds, and now it'll sit there for a third shot. But might have opened that right side up a little bit. Philly may be able to make a run at that rock now. Calling for trying to hit something and make it go away. Not sure where exactly to go, but says we're going to try it anyhow. And the rock's away here. Good takeout weight on it. Sweeper's now trying to sweep hold the line as it approaches the hog line. Making its way into the top of the house. Just ticks their own guard though. But further opens everything up, so while disappointing they didn't make that shot, it does at least help to continue to open that front up. Unfortunately, running out of rocks now. This rock, a little heavy and a little wide now. Trying to scrape it to come on over. Rochester trying to park this in the middle of that big hole that Philadelphia made by ticking those guards open. That's a nice high guard there. Blocking that path up effectively. So Philadelphia taking aim at that rock in the top of the 12-foot circle. Going to try and drive it either sideways onto the one stone or straight back to the rock in the back. Trying to minimize the damage here as Rochester looks to add on here in the fifth end. Stone's on its way. Sweeper's trying to sweep and hold the line. Getting encouragement from this vice skip. Gonna hit the yellow and kick it out the side and out the back of the house. So takes it down to Rochester now just sitting one shot. The rock there in the side of the 8-foot. Rochester looking to see if they should make a play on it now. I think they're coming to that consensus. They're a little bit afraid if they hit a little too thin, it's going to jam over on their yellow rock that's shot. But if they nose it, they will be sitting 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Rock's on its way. Coming on in. It's just going to miss and take out the rock actually in the back and slide out. So he knew out of his hand that rock was a little bit offline and did not curl back at all on its way down towards the house. So now, Brotherly Shove has an interesting decision. Do they try and prevent any more rocks for Rochester from coming in and getting more points? Or do they try and steal a point or two in this end? Shot that we saw something as we were heading down towards the house. Shot's on its way. Can they chip this in? Can they bump this up to be shot? Sweepers are on it. Skip even jumped in and helped sweep his own stone. It's coming on in. Trying to get it in there. Trying to get it far enough. Can they nudge it? Can they nudge it in? How does Rochester get there too? The Philadelphia stone on the right is pretty open. If you look at it here from the hack, you could come down with an in-turn draw, hit and roll underneath. And then if you believe that your shot, that's for 2.
Yeah, I don't remember the story. But they already made the thing, but yeah, they were looking for something and they couldn't find what they were.
Looks like they elected to draw in on the left-hand side. And the last rock in the end is on its way. Rock's running pretty straight out here on the edges. We haven't really thrown anything this far out towards the sidelines. And as this rock starts to pull up, but it's not curling in enough to get in there, so and now looks like they came to consensus of 1 yellow. And with that 1 yellow, that'll give Team Cozen 8-3 lead after 5 ends. Alright, here we'll take a quick peek around the sheets. Over on sheet A, Idaho Carolinos has a 8-3 lead over Blazing Brooms. On sheet C, the Philly Freeze has a 4-2 lead on Team Up. And on sheet D, Mars Attacks has a 5-3 lead on Team Barrickman. And here on our feature sheet after 5 ends, sorry, that's the wrong end. There we go. That matches the scoreboard. Team Cozen of Rochester has an 8-3 lead over Brotherly Shove from Philly and Bucks County. Philly and Bucks has the hammer here in the 6th end. As the countdown clock winds down, reminder that this is a timed Bonspiel. The teams are supposed to complete 6 ends in 90 minutes. If they do, they get to play the final 2 ends. If they don't complete their 6th end in the 90 minutes, they get to finish the end they're on and play 1 additional. So, with 7 minutes left on the clock, teams are going to have to pick the pace up here if they hope to make all 8 ends. So far here in this end, we've got we've got 2 center guards and 2 rocks in the house. Everything's just about touching the center line. This stone from Team Cozen coming in, trying to curl and chip a piece of the brotherly shove stone on the center line. It does, but just nudges it over. Brotherly shove still sitting shot in the top of the 4-foot, touching the top of the button. That Team Cozen rock that was just thrown also is a little bit visible. I think Brotherly Shove is going to make a play at chipping that out. They have to make sure though they nose it. They don't want to bump it into their shot rock. This rock though, running a little straight and a little wide right now. Trying to curl over here as it slows down. Sweeper's starting and sweep, trying to nudge it over as well. And they'll get just to nose and bump it straight back. Now sitting first and third shot with 2 rocks on top of the house. And Team Cozen calling for the guard at the top of the 12-foot. Doesn't want to give Philadelphia the chance for that run back again. This stone's on its way. Sweepers are on it, trying to help it curl. Stone will should finish well short of the house, and I think do the trick. Possibly blocking that up. Really one for a little light hit here. Might be a little too light as they're having to sweep to try and keep this rock on line. Starting to curl as it gets across the center, across the hog line, and is just gonna chip the Rochester center guard back, opening that front up, but all the rocks now easily visible from the other end of the ice. Rock on the way from Rochester. This one's going to curl just in and sit on top of Philadelphia's red rock. So, Philadelphia now sitting 1, possibly 2. Frozen up against a Rochester rock. And another Rochester rock sitting right in front of it. asking his team, do they want to try and tap the yellow up, or do they want to try and draw the other side? Team says they like the tap. They're going to give it a go here. So Rock's coming in, trying to hold it at the line. Sweeper's trying to hold it. Starting to over curl. You don't want to hit your own rock. Oh, and they got it. Just an angle enough raise to tap the yellow rock to the back 12 foot and roll the yellow over. So Philadelphia now sitting 2. But definitely looks like there's an open pocket there that Rochester can just take a whack at. So Rochester's going to be throwing heavyweight here, trying to move some rocks around, opening that 4 foot up. Stones away, but they're sweeping hard, trying to hold the line. Sweeping really hard, trying to hold the line. Just past the guard. He's going to get the top rock and roll over, spilling into the 8 foot. So Philadelphia now only sitting 1. Pretty exposed there as well. Looks like they're going to try and draw in now to the other side of the 4 foot. Stone's on its way. Yep, starting to sweep now, trying to hold the line by the guard. Can it stop now? Does it have too much juice? Sliding into the back of the 4 foot and resting in the back of the 8 foot for what looks to be 3rd shot. So just a little bit too much there coming on in. Now Rochester trying to find the best way. Trying to decide if they want to sit down and if they want to hit it out, if they want to sit down and freeze to it. Or they're just going to try and draw the other side. I think they're fearful if they hit it and sit on, if they hit it, then Philly can just hit them right back. Trying to draw this way, either get some shot rock or possibly limits how much Philadelphia can get and prevent them from climbing back into this game. And the shot's on its way. Trying to draw on the left-hand side. Immediately starting to sweep now for weight and for line. Starting to curl already. This one's just not going to have enough. Going to wreck on the red guard and actually chip it over in front. Brotherly Shove here trying to analyze this. What shot did they make now? Trying to give them the best chance of getting multiple points in this end. Looks like they're going to take a run at that yellow rock sitting second. He's trying to line up the shot here. He's trying to see how he can hit the yellow rock just on the edge, kicking it out the side, deflecting his shot rock, then back to the yellow, sitting at the top of the 4-foot, and seeing what they can get if they get more than one here. Of course, the risk is if you hit the yellow wrong, you'll hit it onto your own red rock, knock that out, and give yellow multiple points. But feeling a little bit of pressure here, down 5 in the 6th end. He's going to see what he can try and somehow double these yellows out. Final stone of the sixth end on its way. Curling out of the hand already. Trying to get his sweepers to hold the line. And it flashes through. So 1 point for yellow. And that'll be the end. That's handshakes. So, with that point, Joe Cozen and Team Cozen from Rochester will move on with a 9-3 win over Brotherly Shove. And that concludes the last draw for us for the night. Thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. first draw for the third day of the Pittsburgh 5&Under Open Bonspiel. Hope you guys join us then. Tomorrow's a marathon day. We've got games starting at 8, and the last game goes off at 10 p.m. So go get all your chores done, clean up the yard, put your Christmas decorations up, and then come inside and put on curling here from the Pittsburgh Curling Club. Thanks again for watching, everybody. My name is Dustin Devine. We'll see you guys next time.